Arsenal confirmed again today, Igal, that you've got Zubimendi. There was a lot of fear mongering, a lot of scaremongering, whichever term people prefer.
Yeah.
That Real Madrid were going to take him away from you, but that deal has been confirmed as agreed again today. Were you nervous at all?
Terry, I was not nervous. I was laughing at the fact that people are willing to change their mind in a second. Because I was getting people saying Zubimendi going to Arsenal, he must not be that good. All of a sudden, Real Madrid are linked to him again, and all of a sudden, he's a second coming of Rodri. So I just love the fact that everyone keeps flip flopping. I think he's a quality player. We've seen what he can do in the Nations League. How good at breaking the lines he is, and that's what he's going to help us with the most. We just did not have enough line breaking passes through the middle of the pitch last season. We're very much dependent on the wings, and he adds a different element to our game. And I can't wait to have Zubimendi holding up the shirt so we don't have to hear from people talking shit anymore about him not signing or Real Madrid coming and getting him. And yeah, it's just nice to see that a lot of people rate the player that we're about to sign, and we're about to get a really good player for a good deal, as he has a pre-agreement with his club to go for 51 million or something like that.
That is a good signing. I think he's a really, really good player. I wanted him at City. Funny enough, he's actually a downgrade on what you've currently got, which is kind of mad, but it is a good signing. You need more. Still need a striker. Don't like this. I think Sesko's.
He's a downgrade on who? Jorginho, who left?
Partey.
Partey is going to stay.
Yeah, but you're going to play them both together.
What it is you have both of them there, so it eases his transition into the league. You don't end up losing to the Fulhams and the West Hams early in the season because you still have Partey.
Yeah, but when Partey leaves,
we're talking about a year from now.
Right, okay. But I don't think it's a good signing. I just don't think he's as good as Partey. That's all. I wanted him at City. I think it's a good signing. Still think you need more. And your rumoured transfers, I still don't think you win the league.
I think Zubimendi right now is better than Partey at breaking the lines. And that's what
So do you think Partey is going to be dropped then?
I think Partey is going to be utilized similar to how Jorginho was utilized. He's going to get 25 to 40 games where he comes in, subs, starts sometimes. But regardless, what we're doing is we're getting a squad. We're building a squad. People always talk about Arsenal not having a good squad. Hopefully, if Partey stays, we then have a good enough squad to go on to compete and win the league. Because a midfield with Thomas Partey, the options of Thomas Partey, Zubimendi, you're going to have Mikel Moreno, Declan Rice, Odegaard. That's a lot better than just taking Partey out of that mix.
No, I agree. I just don't think it's enough. And I don't think you're doing anywhere near enough as a football club.
We're just getting started, mate.
I thought you signed Sesko as a striker.
Hey, if we sign Sesko and we sign Rodrygo, it balances out.
What's the latest Rodrygo news? Someone saying in my chat today that Arsenal was getting Rodrygo or something. What's happening?
Rodrygo's on his way out of Real Madrid, apparently. And there was a report today. I don't know, Terry, did you see it?
Go speak. Yeah, go on, speak.
There was a report today that this guy, Argentinian journalist, let me just pull it up. What's his name? Something Kirk Milos. I'm not sure if you've ever heard of him. But he was talking about Rodrygo is definitely going to be leaving Real Madrid, and Arsenal are one of the main clubs after him right now. So there's been numerous reports that Arsenal are 100% going after Rodrygo. Numerous reports from all sorts of journalists saying that Arsenal are heavily looking at Rodrygo. But I do think Arsenal view him as the needle mover. They might not view Gyökeres as a needle mover. They might view Sesko as somebody who is potentially the better option out of the striker options. But Rodrygo, rumors, is what's moving me right now because that is the needle mover for me. That is the player
Rodrygo
that comes into this team and changes our fortunes because I do think Rodrygo he reminds me of Alexis Sanchez. He was playing at a team where he's not asked to be the main man. He's not asked to be the guy who takes the game by the scruff of the neck as much. He's not playing in his preferred position. He's constantly being moved around to acclimatize to the team and the better players. But if he comes into Arsenal, I think he would take us to another level because he would be playing in his natural position. He'd balance out the team with Saka on one side and Rodrygo on the other. Immediately would be one of the best like fullback, the wing duos in the world. And yeah, the rumor is he will be leaving Real Madrid this season. Arsenal are obviously very keen on him, and we just have to wait and see what happens.
I think your whole season depends on getting Rodrygo. If you don't get Rodrygo, you ain't winning the league.
Yeah, if you get Rodrygo, I'm not going to back you again because I don't want to look like an idiot
Let me
3
put the
years
link in the
running.
chat.
But if you do get him, then you have to this is like you've got to be closer than 10 points off or whatever. It's got to be a race all the way to the end because that's an intense signing. I can't say this. I can't say about Chelsea and then not say the same thing about.
But what is this source, man?
This is a very, very, very trusted source. As much as you want to,
what's his name?
as
What's
much
his
as
name? What Kiko?
Kiko Suarez. He's the one who reported that the Argentinian kid that from River Plate is joining Real Madrid. He's also the one that's now reporting that Rodrygo to leave Real Madrid this season. And he's saying obviously Rodrygo will be an Arsenal player very soon. That is what he's saying. Now, if this is getting me excited, but obviously Man City, Liverpool, there's going to be other clubs trying to come in and try to get him. I'm hearing Liverpool, if they do sell Luis Diaz, they're going to try to come in for him also, because Rodrygo is one of those players that if he's available, everyone's going to try to get him. So I do think there's going to be competition from Chelsea and Liverpool. But right now, I hope Arsenal can pull off the Rodrygo deal, and then it allows the Sesko situation to be a little bit more bearable for me, because I wanted Gyökeres, but if Sesko is the one that the club's going to sign, I'm not going to go against it. At the end of the day, I back these guys to trust their judgment. They scout these players, and they believe that Sesko could potentially be one of the best strikers in the world in a year or two's time, and then he has the capability.
In a couple of years.
Regardless. If they're able to make Mikel Moreno work, to the level that they did, Sesko is definitely an upgrade.
Can I ask you a question? I like Sesko. I think he's a good signing, but I want to be objective for a moment. Is the reason you were defending Chelsea so hard earlier is because you have to, so that you can defend the Sesko deal when Arsenal get him? No. Is it kind of like a premeditated attack so you can plant a seed?
No, because I honestly believe Chelsea are the closest team to Arsenal, and I could see them overtaking us if they continue to do the business that they're doing.
Okay.
Couple of years. It's always a couple of years with these clubs, isn't it?
Hey,
couple of years.
We're not Manchester City. We don't spend 300 million over 2 windows.
You say you're one of the biggest clubs in the world. You've got a massive stadium. You spent 70 million pounds in the whole of last season. Your club has the money. They just don't want to spend it for whatever reason. That's your problem.
You know something? We don't have the same level of financial push that you guys do.
Yes, you do.
No, we don't.
Manchester
City sell very well. You've earned a lot of money off winning recently.
Spent 70 million quid in the whole of last year, y'all.
And Man City, let's just be honest, your owners are a lot better at doing business. At Arsenal, I'm not going to be 100% real with you if I say anything like we can match what Man City have been doing over the last couple of years with signings, with players coming in. First, we just need to get these guys like a Rodrygo in through the door. I don't think we can pull off a window like you did this window.
So you're telling
as easy it would be.
We spent 115 million quid this window, so I don't need to talk about. You're telling me Arsenal don't have the financial capacity to spend 250 million pound this window?
We're going to spend 200 million, but it's going to be probably on 3 players max.
That means you're signing elite level players. You're spending 200 million on 3 players.
I think Sesko and Rodrygo are good signings. Like, I don't know why we're acting like there's a ready-made striker.
If you're saying that's the player you think you're getting, then I think that's a good window. If you're saying you believe you're getting Zubimendi, Rodrygo, and Sesko are your 3 players, I actually agree with you and think, yes, that is a strong window.
Arsenal's window is going to be Zubimendi, Rodrygo, Sesko, Kepa, and potentially one more defender after sales. That is what I'm thinking the window is going to be. If Partey were to leave, then we're going to have to shift and get another midfielder also. But at this moment in time, rumor has it Partey is going to stay. We're going to bring in Zubimendi. We're looking at Sesko as our number of striking option. And as much as everyone hates on Sesko, he is an upgrade on what we currently have to our disposal. And him and Havertz are going to be the options at striker next season. Left wing is a massive upgrade in Rodrygo compared to Trossard and Martinelli. And if we go and get a backup keeper and another backup defender, we've now improved our squad depth. So we hopefully don't have the same level of injuries next season. As much as everyone is getting moved by Florian Wirtz and Cherki, let's be 100% honest. Rodrygo to Arsenal is a bigger signing than all of those.
Wayne here says, wait, Arsenal don't want to spend money when Gyökeres is cheaper than or the same price as Sesko.
I think there's an issue with Gyökeres that people don't want to speak about.
What
Why
issues
are all these top clubs not going head and shoulders pushing hard for Gyökeres as the first option?
Like what clubs?
Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, because even Barcelona, because he scored a ridiculous amount of goals. From the eye test, his goals look very much transferable to all our leagues. We've seen him do it in the Champions League. Why is it everyone is acting like Rory, talking about him like he's just not going to be good enough, like they talked about Haaland? Is it that we're missing something, or
hang on a minute? How many teams are going for Sesko?
No, but there's at least 3 teams looking at Sesko. But Gyökeres right now, it seems like all the rumors is that his options are Manchester United, Juventus, and Saudi. Why aren't Liverpool, Chelsea, and Arsenal looking at him anymore?
Well, Chelsea, you spoke about it earlier, and you said about the wages and the money. So you kind of addressed the Chelsea one. Liverpool are very much focused on getting Wirtz over the line. And the other teams, City don't need a striker. Real Madrid don't need a number 9. Newcastle don't need a number 9. Spurs ain't getting him, as an example. But Barcelona are sticking with what they've got. I mean, but let's not be twisted here. Barca and finances. We're not pretending that they're not flush, are they? Like, no. The idea that teams are not. There's also another thing to factor in with Gyökeres. It's been reported that United are quite comfortable with this to move into July if it has to financially. There's a lot of strong reports that he wants United, and it's about us finding the money to get it done. So there is a strong possibility the news will come out that he's just told other clubs no and he wants to be a Man United player. That would make a lot more sense than no one wanting him. Because again, I agree that his goals will be smaller in the Prem. Sorry?
I don't think that's true, Terry. I think obviously if he had a choice to go to a team like Liverpool, Arsenal right now, who are more competitive and challenging for a league, he would rather go to those clubs.
Well, couldn't you told his agent to tell everybody else other than Man United no?
I don't think anyone was not.
Mbomo said no to Arsenal.
I think it's more of a sign that a lot of clubs are standing clear of Gyökeres, and Manchester United are pretty much getting.
I think you could say the same about Sesko. I don't see a club queuing up for Sesko.
Hey, I think Sesko is a lot of people's second choices. Also, I agree, but Arsenal have him as a number 1 choice. I think he's Liverpool's second choice for Ekitike. I think he might even be other people's second choices. But for example, right now it seems like Arsenal are the only ones who are serious about Sesko.
Is that not a red flag for you though? The Arsenal are the only football club in the world. It's only Arsenal the ones that are serious.
We scouted him. We scouted him last summer. We were scouting him in January. We tried to bid for him in January and last summer. The club has been going after him for the last couple of years.
Yeah, but but hang on a minute. The thing is, what you're doing there, yeah, you're doing this thing with Gyökeres and going, why is no one going for Gyökeres apart from United? Yet you're doing the same thing with Sesko.
Sesko's 22 years old. I personally think he has a lot of scope to grow, but I think Gyökeres right now is the better player. But why is more people not going for Gyökeres, who is 26 years old?
Why is more teams not going for Sesko?
Because he's 22 years old, still has a lot of improvement to go.
I look at it this way. I'm not going to be sort of dragged into that argument about why aren't more people going for him, because nobody else is bidding for Gyökeres right now. Nobody else tried to sign Cherki. Liverpool made an inquiry, but no one else tried to sign him. No one else has tried to sign Aït-Nouri. And the reason for that isn't because they're bad players. It's because it's obvious. They decided where they wanted to go, and they said, that's the club I'm moving to. A lot of people saying, Terry, where did you get the news that Mbomo said no to Arsenal? Fabrizio and David Ornstein. They both literally said it. And it may not have been a bid or personal terms he turned down, but you inquired and what each of those journalists have said. And if you want to challenge, don't challenge me, challenge them. It's not my information. That Arsenal, Newcastle, and Spurs inquired to buy the player, and the player said, no, I want Manchester United. The point I'm making about Gyökeres is you could be right, Igal, that lots of teams are avoiding him because they're not sure. And he comes to Man United and he's awful, and you get it. It could also transpire just like the Bruno Fernandes deal all those years ago, and I'm using the Fernandes deal because of the sporting connection, that he said well in advance that this is the club I want. So teams step away and look elsewhere. There's a reason You know, LB was one of the only City fans online that said this. City didn't walk away from Wirtz for the money. It's because he was told no. And so for me, I'm not going to, you could be right, but I'm not going to sit here and speculate when there's no evidence of it. Does that make sense? There hasn't been a single report I've read that has said lots of clubs are avoiding Gyökeres because they're not sure about him. If you've seen them, send them to me and I'll read them and I'll change my mind. So you could be right. You could be wrong.